creed to break the chains and set us free. Riders on the prairie, wild and free, bows and arrows, Colt 45's decree. No more tyranny, no more lies, under open skies we rise. Fight, fight, fight till we reclaim the night. Cowboys and Indians in the blazing light. Fight, fight, fight till the dawn is near. We'll never live in fear. On the blood moon, we all unite. Horses thunder in the night. No longer slaves to the empire's might. Strength in numbers, strength in rise. We'll never rise. On the blood moon, we unite. Horses thunder in the night.
Welcome, my fellow tribe of patriots, to another episode of the Cowboys and Indians podcast. We are on episode 32. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. I'm kind of proud of that. Hopefully we get to 300 and then 1,000 and beyond that.
Yeah, right.
So I'm your native patriot. You guys can call me Maurice. And then over here we got as Cowboy Steve. Steve loves ammo. You can call him Steve.
Yes, you can. Just don't call me late to dinner.
Wow, that's a Texan thing to say.
Yeah, pretty much. Whatever. How are you, man?
Or I'm doing pretty good. I got home from work a little bit late, so a little bit of a scramble to get this going. But there's as far as news goes today, there wasn't a whole lot of movement apart from, of course, the reactions to Trump's speech last night. His address to Congress. It wasn't really a State of the Union, but his address to Congress kind of exposed exactly what the Democrats support, because I don't recall them really standing up for anything apart from when Trump was talking about sending money to Ukraine. That was the only time they actually cheered.
Yeah, dude. It was absolutely despicable. And I think that the greatest part is Trump going up there against the deep state, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to call him out again. The radical leftists, and looking straight at them, dude. That was like, oh man, dude's balls of steel. Let's go. So the whole, I think it was an hour and 38 minutes. I was trying to look on one of my posts because I had gotten some C-SPAN. Oh, okay. So this was the longest joint session of Congress in history. Trump 2025 was 1 hour, 39 minutes and 38 seconds. The second highest, believe it or not, was Bumbling Joe in 2021 with 1 hour, 4 minutes and 58 seconds. So probably a good 30 minutes of that was, you can't really understand them. But anyway, so an hour and 39, almost an hour and 40 minutes of going after them. And dude, it was just an epic night throughout the entire night with all the recognitions. And to kind of go off of your point, the only time the Democrats even remotely clapped was when they were talking about Ukraine. So that tells you everything you need to know.
It does. And you guys, good evening. Thank you guys for joining in the chat here. We really appreciate it. If you can, please share the show. The only way that we can really grow is if you guys spread the show. We don't have a marketing team. We don't have, a bunch of advertising money or anything like that. It is literally just us working our 9-to-5 jobs and 9 to 5, sun up to sundown jobs, basically. On podcast days, I do try and get home a little bit early, which, it is what it is. But please share the show if you guys like it. That's the only way we can grow. Hit the like button depending on what platform you are on, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, Rumble. It's a like button on Rumble, right? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Smash the like, smash the share, whatever platform you're on, please.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be a good day, man. There was something that piqued my interest last night during the speech, and I mean it was right at the beginning. It was the signs that were being held up by the Democrats, because it was really interesting to watch, how they were going to react and what they were going to do. But I mean, come on, guys. The signs that they were holding up was Musk steals, protect veterans, save Medicaid. I mean, these are all signs, mind you, paid for by us. I guarantee that they
Oh
paid
yeah.
using our tax dollars to pay for these signs. So
Yeah.
Doge should probably investigate that.
We need less fucking paddle boards. I don't know, dude. Yeah, like it was, and they were wearing pink. Do you believe the hypocrisy behind that? When literally the day before they, every single Democrat voted against keeping men out of for they wanted to keep men in women's sports. Like, you guys don't respect women or any of that. Ridiculous. That's so funny.
This is it, man. I mean, this is really what they're doing. It's
Yeah.
been a virtue signal, and I maybe the most fascinating part of this entire watching this go down, because I was watching it a little bit of the reactions today, and trying to think about if I was somebody trying to watch this objectively, okay? Because a short 8 years ago, when I started getting into politics, I was watching it as objectively as I could. I didn't know. I mean, I didn't even really know the difference between Democrat or Republican. I didn't care about any of that stuff. And if I were to watch this objectively, and Trump was talking about, I mean, there were various things that he brought up, which is completely bipartisan, strictly American,
Yes.
celebrating Americans, like that little kid who became an honorary cop because he was battling. He battled and has so far been living through brain cancer.
Yes,
was
sir.
made fun of online.
I know.
And Trump found out about him and decided to highlight him during this address to Congress, which is a beautiful thing to get highlighted by a president for battling through something like this. And they didn't even cheer then. It is, I don't understand. Like, it's not Trump's victory. The victory is the kids and the fathers for battling through this and staying strong the entire time.
Yeah, so it was not only that, but he brought Corey Compatore's family, that kid that was trying to get into West Point. There's so many different things that these Democrats could have like really showed like they had some semblance of caring for the American people that have gone through struggles in their life, but they don't care. They really don't. Their hatred for Trump superseded all of this. This mockingbird media redundant just narrative that they built on Trump since 2015 or 2016. Dude, if people continuously vote for Democrat after they saw what happened last night, then they're knowingly hating American principle. They don't care about America first because Trump has always tried to go across the board or across party lines. Why do you think we have RFK and Tulsi Gabbard? Because he is willing to put aside what differences there are between the two parties and actually try to have the art of the deal. They want to push it together and try to have everybody's voice heard, but no, not the left. They only care about their narrative and pocketing that USAID money, which we need to figure out if that was bought those paddles.
It is so tiresome. I mean, Gizmo brings up a good point here. He says Lake and Riley's family, Dems couldn't stand for them. How is that even possible that the representatives, American congressional representatives, being addressed by the president, couldn't even stand for an American who was murdered by a criminal alien who broke his way into this country and murdered an American? They couldn't even stand for the family being honored there. That's crazy because they're so delusional that they believe that if they stand, they're showing support for Trump. But really what they're doing is exposing themselves for being anti-American at heart.
Right there. That's it.
They have a separate agenda that doesn't include Americans. They have their own agenda. They have their own thing going on behind the scenes, and they need to continue to push that narrative. And if they show any kind of support, if they are not in complete and total, this is the problem with freaking communists. Okay, this is why I hate communists, because
they're not people, dude.
They're not. They don't deserve rights. It's disgusting. Because if you are not in ideological lockstep in every conceivable way, then they will absolutely toss you to the side. And they will laugh at your pain and suffering. They do not care about you. They do not care about Americans.
This is what these commies do, bro. Like, and now we see it. Like with the people that are coming to our side, like the Tulsis and the RFKs, the Maha movement, they shunned them out. They're like, okay, you were useless eaters anyway, so we're pushing you to the side. And they're going to continue. These people will continue until their ideology is eradicated out of America. So to do that, though, we have to have a solid Republican Party, not some of these people like Crenshaw or Cornyn. These people that are will jump the fence every once in a while and side with Democrats on these policies and get away from America First policies. We have to build it from the inside out. And Serenity is absolutely correct. Honor is the key word. They had no honor in themselves, so they couldn't show honor to anyone else. Absolutely.
Yep. And so, and here's an example, you guys. For those of you listening, there's a tweet here from Rapid Response. It shows the video of a 19-year-old girl who was injured by a man in a sports game. Okay, this was supposed to be female volleyball, and he spiked the ball, hit her in the head, and it left her with a traumatic brain injury. Okay, and Emma Vigilant, I don't really know who she is, but she's prominent. She's got hundreds of thousands of followers on X. She retweet or quote tweeted this and laughed. This is what I mean when you step out of line with their ideology in any way. This is not a right-wing tweet, okay? Or X post, all right? It does say President Trump was proud to sign an executive order to keep men out of women's sports. But I mean, he's objectively saying what President Trump was doing and why he was doing it. But Emma, of course, here is laughing at the pain and suffering at a 19-year-old innocent girl who isn't involved in politics in any way, shape, or form, literally just playing volleyball, suffers a traumatic brain injury because a dude decided that he wanted to compete in women's sports, spiked the ball on her head, and it's funny to the left because they cannot bend in any way.
It's that profile picture I didn't have full screen on. She appears to be a biological woman, correct?
Yep. Yes.
How insane? I'm trying to keep my composure because dude, this is insane. It makes me sick. I don't understand how these people get like this. And you know what? I honestly I was kind of commenting just a little bit ago, and I was stating, for lack of better terms, like we need to eradicate their ideology, but I don't think so. I think we need a little bit of communism in this country. Hear me out, because it's going to be a constant.
It's better be a solid follow-up.
No, hang on, because we need to know what we need to fight against. Because if we have a completely commie-free America, then I don't know. I just kind of think there's a potential that there can be infiltration from the outside in, and there may be a potential where it starts all over again. So kind of like how people try to erase history. We need to keep history alive. So we need to understand what has happened throughout history. So maybe that wasn't the best way to bring that about. We need a little bit of commies in this country. Maybe that wasn't the best, but I think you get the idea or the premise behind it.
Yeah, maybe I mean this is a free country. You can choose to be an evil piece of shit if you want.
Yeah.
And a stupid evil commie. But in all reality, we need to be able to expose communists and limit their involvement as representatives in any way, shape, or form. Once they're exposed as communists, they need to be kicked out of and removed from government. Period. End of story.
Well, that's true. Very true.
Communism is the exact opposite of what the founding fathers envisioned for this country. We are supposed to have elected representatives that represent the people, so the power remains in the people's hands, not in government's hands. Government's duty and job is to protect our rights that are granted by God. Communism does not in any way, shape, or form have any part to do with God. Or recognizing that we as individuals have God-given rights that they're not allowed to infringe on, and that it's their duty to protect those rights and recognize them.
Yeah. So, but when was the last time we had actual representatives that represented us? It's been a very, very long time, dude. I don't even know if we've had true representation. Would you argue that?
Um, I would say that when the country first started, and
Okay.
we were still a Christian nation.
Okay. Yep.
We had a lot better representation back then, and before the internet, before TV, before radio, there was a different kind of representation because I mean obviously they couldn't know everything that was going on. The
Right.
way information traveled was a little bit different, and if your reputation was ever tarnished, then people stopped trusting you. So back then I would imagine
Okay.
that the representation was a little bit better because it almost had to be in order to for these people to remain in power. Almost. I mean, I would imagine it would be, but nowadays it seems like our representatives just say anything they want to at any time, and they're virtually never held accountable because they have
Right.
separate agendas. I mean, and with
Yep.
the speech last night, it was so obvious. It was so obviously, I love this.
Yep.
Anti-commie that we need a good 6 months of dictatorship.
Get your mind right.
I'm assuming it's to purge communists
Oh yeah.
from government.
I mean, she's anti-communist, so
Yeah, no,
that's
it's
where she's
beautiful.
going with it, but yeah, and I don't know. I would say technology is it's kind of a double-edged sword, because we are able to really find out information super fast,
Mhm.
but also at the same time, I don't know, like with the Patriot Act and things like that. I don't know. I okay. So let me ask you this: 1950s. Just think about it. How many mass shootings do you think people heard about? Never,
Yeah,
right?
none.
I mean, people were
None.
fighting. Was it the Civil War? Maybe a couple of years after it officially ended. So I don't know if like that the argument that you're saying with the representation kind of holds any weight. I think they kind of had a little bit more free reign, in my opinion,
Mm,
because what did they really control? DC.
well, that's the thing is that the people actually had more power back then because they were running their lives more. They were more of private citizens
Okay,
than we are
fair.
today.
Okay,
So
fair enough. Yeah,
they the representation that they had, like they weren't reliant on the government the way that we are today.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
born
Okay.
into a system with
Mhm.
a social security number and paying taxes from the as soon as we can. And we
Yeah.
then become reliant on the government to do anything because back then you didn't need a permit to go fishing or sell lemonade
Right.
outside of your house or do almost anything like that. Now you need a permit, you need approval, you
Okay.
need to be investigated in every single aspect of your life. So the
Right.
representation is a little bit different because we are no longer private citizens. We
Mm.
are subject to invasive investigation in almost every single way if you want to do anything at all.
Okay.
If you want to exercise your Second Amendment, then you have to get all of these background checks. You have to
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
and I mean Washington State, they're trying to pass a law where you have to apply to the government and make a plea as to why you want, like basically you have to get a permit in order to buy a gun. Not just have the background checks
Oh
and
my God.
all this shit, but in order to buy a gun, they want you to have a permit.
A permit for a permit, essentially. A permit for a license, or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. Oh my
Yep.
God.
Yeah, it's insane. So that's where
Yeah.
the government nowadays is stepping in way over their authority and
Mhm.
basically saying that we get to decide whether or not you get to exercise your rights. Imagine if you had to have a permit to get on Twitter or to go outside and speak.
It's
Imagine if
coming.
they had the ability to constrict or to stop you from speaking. If they could silence your voice box, they would. And then they would tax it and then put a permit on it. It is the
Right.
exact same thing with the Second Amendment, except the
Yeah.
Second Amendment explicitly states that it shall not be infringed. And in the Washington State Constitution, so not only federally constitutionally, but by the state constitution, it says that the right of the it's Article 1, Section 24 of the Washington State Constitution. The right of the individual citizen to bear arms in defense of himself or the state shall not be impaired. That sounds like a pretty darn big impairment to me.
I mean, what laws do these politicians actually follow? They don't. It's always the rules for the thing. So
Yeah. Rules
I
for
don't,
thee,
man.
not for me.
Yeah, it's incredible, dude. Like Serenity said, in Hawaii, you need permissions from police to customize a car. It is beyond safety. It is control. She's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
So I just think I think why they're fighting so tooth and nail against Trump and Doge and all this stuff is because they're exposing how much corruption and how much of your taxpayer money has been going to these other countries and not to the American citizens. So I honestly I think what they're trying to build cases to bring down these three-letter organizations. So like the IRS, for example, why do you need to be taxed? Because all of this money is being sent to other countries anyway. So we have people that are importing stuff. Why don't we just impose tariffs on them? Have the External Revenue Service and start giving you money back. Um, the DOJ, FBI, for example, Trump has been massively targeted by these three-letter organizations. There's another one that I'm not going to say, but it should be scattered into the winds in a thousand pieces. But they conduct coups overseas on foreign governments, and all of. So I think it is a very slow process, and it's going to take a lot to take down the deep state. So I know a lot of people are like they're wanting action, like really fast action, but in order to take down the deep state, it's going to take very like it's a chess match. You're going to have to like pick these pieces apart, and I think what
Peacefully.
they're doing right now. Yes,
In,
correct.
in order to do it peacefully.
Yes, they are picking apart these separate three-letter organizations in order to effectively take them down.
Yeah. And I mean Brandon Herrera, I wish he was the head of the ATF or appointed head of the ATF because he laid out he put a YouTube video out on how he could dismantle it and basically permanently make it basically neuter the ATF to the point where they could never recover. And then because if you just abolish the ATF, then problem arises where a different part of the government that's actually bigger will be able to enforce the rules that the ATF was. So
Right.
he basically laid out how he would dismantle all the rules of the ATF and make guns
Basically
great
use
again.
their own
Basically,
existing policies and rules and laws against them themselves.
yeah, and reverse some of the ridiculous rulings that they've
Mhm.
or conclusions that they've come to when it comes to guns. It there's so many things with this government, and with just the I guess the way that these topics are discussed that
Mhm.
really bug me because a lot of this stuff is very basic, and with the way that our government feels it has the authority to step over and just trample on the Constitution and our rights
Mhm.
is appalling to me. And there's Trump is the first representative that I've seen that has been pushing back against it. Not even as much as I would like. He's pretty much a moderate, but he's surrounded
Yeah.
himself with people who are more aggressive, which is a good thing because
Yes.
he had a lot of snakes around him in his first presidency.
Oh,
But
for sure.
now he's surrounding himself with people like Kash Patel and Dan Bongino and
Right.
Pete Hegseth. I mean, all of these people are
Correct.
recognizing what the American people see as issues. Trump has been, I mean, when he talks about tariffs and he talks about the negotiations with other countries around, or yeah, with negotiations with other countries, his rhetoric has been the same since the 90s. We're getting
Oh
ripped
yeah.
off. We shouldn't be getting ripped off. That's it.
I mean, he is the most consistent person that I think I've known in my life. Like he was talking America first on man, what's that old show with that the guy with the glasses, Larry King. Larry King? Yeah, Larry King Live. He was talking about stuff like that in all the interviews in the 90s. And I even remember I kind of remember the interview he did on Oprah when she asked him if he would run for
Oh yeah.
president. Um, I vaguely remember it. I've just watched so much stuff, over the last 5 to 10 years. But he's been very consistent, and I think he's not the person that will tell you what you want to hear. He'll be the kind of person that'll tell you what you need to hear. And But at the same time, like I'm always going to question him because I never trust anybody. Um, but I do feel he is the best person in position to be America first.
Yeah, I mean, right now it seems like I mean, I'm really glad that Trump won
Hmm.
because it's hard to imagine what would have happened if Kamala would have won. I mean,
Oh,
I would have I think me personally, I would have seen this country as legitimately lost and that there's no way out. And
that's fair.
I'm glad that didn't happen. But
Yes.
now I really don't want it to feel like the Rat Hope experiment. You know what that is?
No.
So the Rat Hope experiment was it. Let's see. I don't know when this was conducted exactly. It's been a while since
Okay.
I've read on it, but
Hmm.
basically what they did is they took a bunch of rats and they would put them in like a bucket or a pool of water, right?
Okay.
And they would see how long they would swim until they would drown.
Okay.
And the first time where they would just they put the rats in and then they let them swim, and it was like 23 minutes, and 26 minutes. It didn't take that long for them to give up and die. Well, uh, what they tried after that is they would put the rats in the water, and then
Hmm.
right as the rats were about to give up, they they pulled them out of the water
Take him out.
and
Okay.
dried them off and comforted them. And oh, Truthful Troll says 7 minutes. Okay, well it was a short amount of time, but um,
Testing. He got you on that one, bro.
oh man. All right, all right.
Do not
Well,
trust truthful troll.
the so the second round, they would put the
Right.
rats in, they'd pull them out right when they were about to give up, dry them off, let them rest, and then they would put the rats back in again and see how long they would swim. And this time, it took them days to give up because they always thought that
Uh,
hope
so this is
they
almost like
had hope.
Pavlov's dog.
Maybe, I don't know.
Training them in a mindset like, okay, if I go
Yes.
ring the bell, whatever, I'm gonna get dog food, but this one is certain death.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it basically just gave them hope. And so they were
Okay.
able to last 10, 20 times as long because they
Mm.
assumed that somebody was coming to save them. So they
Right.
always
Okay.
thought that. And so what I'm slightly fearful of is that this Trump presidency isn't going
Oh,
to be exactly what this country needs, although
mm,
it's the only option that I see moving forward right now.
fair.
Uh,
Yeah.
but if we don't get a lot of this rot out, if we don't get a lot of this communism, this Marxist ideology out, these
Yes.
backroom deals, these all of this stuff that's been going on behind the scenes, if we don't expose
Yep.
this, expose the Epstein files, the Diddy file. I mean, the Diddy is more cultural. I don't think that
Mhm.
that had as much influence on politicians, but obviously it was allowed for a long time. So you don't know. But
Yeah.
whoever was running Epstein, like we need to get to the bottom of that before Trump gets out of office. And I mean that with all sincerity, because like what you were talking about earlier, when was the last time we actually had representatives representing the people?
Correct. Yep.
The overwhelming majority of representatives have been compromised for so long that they haven't been representing the people. They'll come out and
Yep.
they'll say the right things to get the votes and they'll put all of these marketed commercials on TV and they pretend to have that, but really they're working behind the scenes
Yes.
to represent the Epsteins, right?
Yeah, dude.
Whoever's controlling him. So
Yes.
they've been blackmailed. They haven't actually been representing the people. That's why we're $36 trillion in debt. That's why we've had these
Yes.
never-ending wars overseas. That's
Yep.
why the military-industrial complex is so powerful because of all of these backroom deals that are pushed through. I mean, and pharmaceutical too. I mean, it's all
Oh yeah,
intertwined.
dude. It's a network. It's a network.
Yeah, yeah, and
It,
this is why we've been being poisoned for a long time. This is
mhm.
why Americans are overwhelmingly obese. It's not because we consume too much food necessarily. It's that the food that we consume is poison to our body. It lowers your immune system. It
Yes.
it literally makes you weak and fat and docile.
Yeah.
And then you feel more and more sick, and there's almost, it's not that there's nothing that you can do, but the studies that they put out showing that the food pyramid, it is all bunk, because there's a
Yes.
separate agenda behind the scenes to enrich
Yes.
these people, and they haven't had the American, like the average American's interest in mind. So all of these separate things, when it comes to education, when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to just the roots of this country, they're separating us from all of it. They're separating us from Mother Nature. They're separating us from the roots that from the beginning of this country and what ties us to it. They're separating us from God and making the seven deadly sins seem virtuous.
Right. Yeah, dude, I'm in total agreement. It's all of this is connected. And you mentioned a second ago about Epstein list, and you're unsure if there are politicians involved. I'm at the point where they're all involved until it's proven otherwise. And that's just where I'm at. But yes, big pharma, military industrial complex, everything is connected, man. And it's the reason why we haven't had representation for so long is because of the money. It's these NGOs, these lobbyists, these people that are backing these candidates and telling them how to vote. These people are not actually representing you, they're representing their donors. And this has been the major problem for the last 50, 60 years, maybe. So, in my opinion, those people that have the money, the behind the scenes, the backroom deals, the closed door meetings, that's what the deep state is.
50 Shades of Crazy says, and now all these young kids smoke pot all day and eat Taco Bell. Yeah, I mean,
Down the
okay.
population.
I got to be honest. I don't really have an issue with pot itself. Okay, what I have an issue with is using it as a vice, right? It's abusing it. Like if you want to smoke pot, I don't care. Go ahead, but understand that I think South Park said it best, where pot makes you okay with being bored, and it makes you okay. And so a lot of these young kids are looking out there and they're seeing, they're basically being blackpilled. And they're like, okay, I have no hope to buy a house. I work this shit job that barely makes enough money for me and my 3 roommates to pay for this shitty apartment. And there's the dating scene is complete garbage, because the women sleep around and the guys, like the overwhelming majority of guys, are not getting the value in dating apps that and neither are women. Mind you, women are cheating themselves out of a lot of this by being very promiscuous and not valuing their bodies enough. But they're looking out there in a.
I think this is a bigger picture thing, man. I think it's more of an intentional, systematic approach to make the population fat, lazy, stupid. Because if more people understood what this government was actually doing to them, things would be so much better. So many people would be rising up, not physically, but going to their local representatives and saying, "What the fuck are you doing? You should be representing me. Why are you voting for more money for Ukraine?" These people would be door knocking. They would be canvassing. They would be out there on the streets making grassroots missions happen. So I think we're at a point now where this has been exposed for so long. We are demanding accountability from our representatives and these people that have shit on us for so long. That's why the talk about rhinoism is so big. Because do you think the Democrats are going to go out and hold their own people accountable? Hell to the no. That's what separates us from these commies. We are actually going to go out there and we are going to expose this. We've been exposing this, and we've been called conspiracy theorists since however long you want to call it. But now we're demanding accountability. So I can understand why some people are so upset right now that things are not happening so fast, because people have been pissed for so long and they want justice. They want the hammer of justice to drop and swift. But you have to understand that it's this entire ideology, this whole globalist movement that's been attacking us for so long. It is going to take time to dismantle it. And if we want to dismantle it right, we have to have the plan and we have to do it correctly. But first, we have to understand that we have to remember what happened to Trump in his first term. There were so many rhinos that were going against him that we lost a chamber. We have to make sure we're holding our people accountable too while going after the deep state. So that's why we need to work now. We need to go after these people that are going against Trump, like these Murkowskis that only went voted for some of these cabinet members because she was getting pushback. She's never going to change. We need to get these people out.
Yeah. Well, speaking of accountability, I want to hold all of our followers accountable for buying American. Okay. Jumping into today's sponsor, shopwithamerica.us. You guys, this is something that has helped us get to CPAC. It is a club membership that you join, and every purchase you make is American products, more natural products, getting chemicals out of your home. If you go to shopwithamerica.us, let them know that the Patriots Prayer Network sent you. Okay, PPN, it's up at the top, that way. Up at the top right of the screen there.
That way.
Yeah, the Patriots Prayer Network, let them know that we sent you. Sign up. It is a club membership. You can order cleaning products, food. I mean, now they partnered with a steak company, so you can order steak now. Yes. And so if you want to go on the carnivore diet or start eating more healthy food, which is basically red meat, and
Right.
you can now get this ordered, and it will be shipped to your house in 2 days, no matter where you are in the country. Okay, maybe not no matter where. If you're living in like the tippy top of Alaska, in Nome or something, it might take a little bit longer. But they do have they do have a couple of shops all around the country. So it should be 2 days. Tell them the Patriots Prayer Network sent you. Sign up. Matt will walk you through the process. If not Matt, then it would be Eddie. But just at least try it out and start ordering these things with less chemicals, more natural, American-made products that once you join this club, you are then supporting America every day with your dollar. Every time you purchase these products, it is staying in the American economy. You are not shipping it overseas. You're not buying these products with the false what is that, the false sense of choice that you have at the store when you walk past. Yep. Every single time you're walking past all of these different brands, and most of them are the same company, the same parent company with the same crap chemicals that slowly poison you. This is the MAGA Maha movement. It's all wrapped up in one here. Go ahead, sign up, shopwithamerica.us, try it out, get the stuff shipped. I got a whole bunch of their products out here that I should probably bring in for one of these advertisements, but I would like to thank. I hope Matt's watching. Thank you for supporting us. I really appreciate it, and it's everything that I stand for. I absolutely love this. So you guys sign up, shopwithamerica.us. Let them know that we sent you, and we can go do more cool things as well, because there's a lot. I'll tell you what, there's a lot. So it's not free. It's a club membership. So
freedom isn't even free, brother.
Yeah. It's like you pay for a Costco membership to get discounted prices. They don't have stores that you go and walk into to buy these products. No, it's made in the it's made here, and then it's shipped to your door. So you're paying for a membership, and then you get discounts on all of the products that are made here in America. We don't have to ship them from across the world to get here with all these extra chemicals to keep them fresh, right? Okay, it's all made here and shipped directly to your house. You're skipping that entire process, and you're supporting America. So, perfect.
Guess what? All these products from China, if they get stuck on shipping containers, you ain't got to worry about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and plus, without having to go to the store and buy the extra shipping costs in general, you're literally saving money. So, It is what it is. You guys try it out. But that was just a little tangent off of accountability, because we need to hold ourselves accountable to what we spend every day. When you go out, when you buy a brand new cell phone, I mean, they don't sell cell phones on this site just yet, but when you go out, when you buy a brand new cell phone, or you buy brand new shoes, or whatever it is, you're paying the slave masters overseas. And it's something that I've harped on for so long that it frustrates the heck out of me. We literally fought a civil war to end slavery here, but yet we pay every day these slave masters overseas with our dollars. So not only are we taxed and then our dollars are sent overseas, we're willfully sending all of our money overseas because we're buying these shit products that poison us.
Yep.
I want to be done with it. I'm tired of it.
Let's do it. So visit the website, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
What else we
Moving
got,
on.
brother?
I don't know.
We're kind of free balling it today. I mean, free rolling with it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, did you hear about this? This is kind of crazy. So, let me pull it up really quick. In response to the tariffs that were just implemented on Snow Mexico or Canada, they actually so the Icebacks deployed their Air Force. Did you hear about this?
No, the Icebacks. Oh my God, Maurice.
Yes. The Icebacks, they deployed their Air Force. So it's getting serious, you guys. Check this out.
Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh my God.
There it is. Watch out.
Oh my God. You might get
Bombs are dropping.
droppings.
I know it was a stupid joke, but I really enjoyed it.
I'll laugh. I'll laugh next to you. How about that? I won't laugh at you.
I don't think they have an Air Force. Or if they do, it's like, 3 of our old planes that we gave them.
Yeah, powered by maple
would
syrup
imagine.
or some shit.
Yeah, they're...
Like when they drop a bomb on something, it's like, sorry.
Oh, hey, sorry. Sorry, guys.
Don't you know?
No windshield is safe. I'm slow, sorry. No, ice back. So, it's a little play off of since we call it Snow Mexico, ice backs instead of being wet for crossing the river.
I think they get it. I think they get it.
All right. I won't over explain the joke. Well, we didn't even get to Al Green getting kicked out. Right at the beginning of the speech yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And
hey, how do you feel about Trump going after Pocahontas?
Mom?
God, dude. Do you have that video? Do we have it or no? I wish we had a producer that could do that for us.
All right, I'm producing right now.
Amy, roll that tape. Rogan does it. No.
How do you spell Pocahontas? I got it. Don't worry.
Pocahontas. There you go. Pocahontas.
I'm speedy quick with this. All right, call me Jamie. Here we go.
Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah. You would say Pocahontas says yes.
Come on, show her. There we go.
2,000 people.
Okay, I actually love it, man. It's a good thing. He's authentic, right? Whether
sure.
He's talking to the press, bashing you, he'll say the same exact thing to your face. That is a good sign in a politician when he will say, whether it be to your face or off to the media. Yeah, he is who he is.
And then, of course, the libs are like, "Oh, he's racist" and all this stuff. And then Tampon Tim came out. He was doing some interview today and was saying how Trump's a racist for doing all that stuff. And it's like, she's not even native. Maybe she like 1% or something like that.
No. It was so she was tested for North and South American. Okay, so it's not even. It's possible that she's not even North American, like native.
Oh my God!
So she could be 1,024th, like native South American, like Mexican, basically. I don't know, whatever they are down there.
They're all Mexicans. It's okay.
Yeah. The Mexicans and then the darker Mexicans further down.
Yeah. The more melanin Mexicans. Oh my God, you racist.
Well, you get far enough down. Well, yeah. we got the Mexicans, the further south Mexicans, the darker Mexicans, and then we got the snow Mexicans up north. So that's the American education for you.
Yeah, I know, right? So Robert Whaley from YouTube is saying one. Oh my God.
1024th. Yeah. And that's just like it's American. It's the American continent which they tested. It wasn't specifically North America. So yeah, people and then she actually like put the test results out there. Like she thought it was a good idea somehow.
Yo, hey guys.
Look,
I'm like not even native, but I'm native. Dude, okay, so I would love to do a test like that, but I don't want to give my DNA to the globalists.
They probably already have it, bro. You were in the military.
Yeah,
they got it.
I'm immune to anthrax now, so I guess that's a silver lining.
I don't know. Hopefully they don't bring smallpox back. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's inevitable. Well, Fauci's not there anymore, so we'll see.
I'll be all right. I'm half white, so I'm half immune. I'll be okay.
You got half white privilege. Congratulations, brother.
Do you know that there's a South American tribe called the Mosquito? Maybe she's part mosquito. 1024th Mosquito.
It's a blood-sucking communist. There we go. Makes sense.
Could be.
Oh, God.
Go far enough down. Anyway. She has. Oh, okay. So what you were saying about them calling Trump racist, which surprise, you guys, Trump's the racist.
like they've been trying that
runs
for 10
with
years.
Pharma. Lamb not called her runs with Pharma. That I'm gonna start using. I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah, that's her native name. That's beautiful.
I mean, I was calling her runs with bullshit for a while.
Okay.
So, but X punishes you for cursing now, so they lower your visibility.
Yeah. Can I even say
thank you, Jordan? I probably.
I don't know.
It would be fine. It doesn't matter. I tweeted it today, so I'm just scrolling through. Okay, I found it. All right, my producer is a little slow with this. It's just me. But so check this out. This is the Democrats, of course, coming out saying that Trump is racist and for kicking Al Green out because apparently he's a man of color.
Right.
And him standing up.
I'm sorry. I just had a random. He looks like the Geico caveman.
Oh, he kind of does, doesn't he?
Man, I wish I had a side by side. But anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
See, that's why we need a producer. But whoever this is, I forgot her name. She went on MSNBC today, and for the first time since Trump ran, the Democrats surprisingly are saying that Trump might be racist.
Really? Like, dude, this is breaking news.
A blatant disrespect for the House, and it wasn't coming from Representative Green.
Dude, somebody change the lights, man. She can't, like, she's squinting. What's happening?
It was coming from the men behind him on the right side who were telling him and yelling, "Sit down." I mean, it felt like I was watching something in a history class of racists yelling at an elderly black man challenging the president of the United States not to cut medical care for the sick. What have seemed like...
There it is, you guys. That's breaking news. Democrats say that Trump's racist again.
Yeah. Oh, my God. They actually believe it, too.
I don't know if they do. I don't know if they actually have like beliefs. I think they just like repeat rhetoric. That's kind of what it seems like. Yeah,
that's fair enough. Just the mockingbird but keep doing it. Just keep doing it, please. Midterms are coming up soon, and we have another presidential election. They have some real winners for 2028, by the way. Oh man, just keep it up. That's all I can say.
Oh, I had a tweet kind of go viral a little bit because when they mentioned that there was one person with 300 that was 360 years old, older than the United States. I tweeted this out. Everybody loves it. I said I found the 360-year-old Because I mean, in all reality, like check this out. She does not look good. She does not look okay.
Oh, she's
I
got
think
one
she
foot in
could
the grave,
be.
bro. She might be running out of adrenochrome.
Oh yeah.
Right, drunker and fuck too. But anyways,
Oh.
dude, can you believe we have someone that's getting this money that is older than the United States of America?
A true Native American must be.
Maybe Pelosi's native. She's getting reparations of some sort. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. I can't deal.
Yeah. Anti-Commie here says, is he cutting medical care for 300-year-olds? That must be what they're referencing, because all the 240-year-olds, all the 160-year-olds, all the 150-year-olds, their Social Security and their Medicaid, that's all getting cut off. And he is stopping these clearly alive Americans from getting all of these benefits, from getting our tax dollars.
I just see the Democrats.
What a racist.
Trump hates the elderly. What the fuck? Oh my god, I can't even deal with this anymore, bro. It's absolute insanity.
No. Let's see. We can't cut off Pelosi's check. I mean, in all reality, the way to stop paying these people is to stop electing them. And the only way to do that is to get Americans more involved, which is what we're trying to do right now.
Yeah.
So, Social Security was implemented in 1935. Well, it is a big Ponzi scheme. It is a joke. Social Security is the biggest joke I've ever heard. And this is one of the things that, like, I pay into Social Security. You think I'm ever going to see a dime of that money?
I mean, if you make it to that age, but you're going to get taxed on it. Well, maybe not, but that blows my mind. You're taxed throughout your life for Social Security, and then you collect your Social Security, and you're taxed on it again.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like, so Washington State a couple years ago, they implemented paternity leave, right? So guys can take off 3 months and get paid by the government paternity leave. It's like up to $1,300 a week, basically. Depending on how much money you make, they'll pay you. But supposedly that's also taxed, which to me it doesn't make it. It's one of those things. It's kind of like taxing Social Security. It's like they're giving you tax money just so they can. It's like, just give us less money.
Like double jeopardy.
Yeah. Like, why are you? What are we doing here? Why are we creating these extra steps? This is retarded. And I mean, it's literally retarded. Because they're taking our tax money and then they're giving it back to us, but saying, oh, a percentage of this you have to give back to us again later, because we need to be able to pay all of these people that can process this transaction that we're creating extra steps in order to do. It's already tax money.
Dude, it's a sham. All taxation is theft, bro, and that's the point I'm trying to prove. Like, that's why Elon and Doge is showing all of this tax money that's being sent out to all these countries for these retarded programs. Let me just be clear. They are retarded. You don't need a trans opera in Ireland. The fuck is that? We need to.
You didn't see the trans opera down there?
Oh, sorry. Well, I've never been to Ireland, but I would definitely not go there. Maybe if I went to a pub before and got.
I wonder if they would Netflix it and just like make them all black and be like, we're the real indigenous Irish folk. So you just have a bunch of.
Oh my God! Are you talking about that post that I think was it last podcast that you were talking about?
It was a couple podcasts ago.
Oh, was it a couple? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the indigenous Irish were really black. And,
my God. Stupid. That has to be a troll account, man. There's no way somebody actually believes that.
I don't know. I've seen it with everything. They're like, Native Americans were actually black. The Irish were black. Everybody was black.
Yeah, the entire planet was black. You just turned white.
Yeah, all you white folks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra is probably regretting that.
That's actually funny, and they're actually really good too.
There is such a thing as Black Irish? Okay, I'm being informed here. Are they like? But they're like, they were probably brought there, right? I mean, I would imagine. Like, why would the Irish be so white? Like,
okay,
so white.
Yeah, so Nana said yes, they were brought there. So okay, that makes a lot of sense. They're not indigenous to Ireland.
Yeah, I'm always curious as to like who's actually indigenous, because I mean, I don't know what kind of ancestry like I have going back. If we went back like 600 years, like I don't know what were the Swinomish even around back then? I don't know.
Yeah.
They kind of say that they were. I mean, they do say that in the year 1700 was the last huge earthquake on the West Coast. It was when the Cascadia fault line collapsed, and it's like a 9.0 earthquake, and it just devastates the entire West Coast. We're due for it again, by the way, and with all the freaking depravity going on, and we got a bunch of little earthquakes happening around our area, it's like that shit's coming.
Yeah.
But hopefully not, because I mean it would sink Seattle and Portland, and I mean, like, maybe that would help reset the mindset of the insanity that we have going on. But that's a lot of people, a lot of innocent people that would go.
Oh my God, where would Antifa go?
They'd be. I mean, when you start looking into what would happen if that big one actually hit, I mean, we would be so screwed. I mean, I would probably be fine depending on where I'm at. But the entire West Coast would be devastated, and it wouldn't be good.
All that being so close to that super volcano under Yosemite, that makes me nervous.
Well, I mean, we have like 3 volcanoes in Washington State that would likely be affected by that as well. So if the big one did hit, then like I live at the base of Mount Rainier, so I might be okay. Well, if Yellowstone goes, then we're all fucked.
Yeah.
There's like 90% of the Earth's population would fail, because it, like, if a super volcano actually went, then it would like coat the entire world, put us into a nuclear winter basically.
Right.
And there's the overwhelming majority of people would disappear.
Dude,
albeit some slow.
I watch a lot of documentaries, okay? So like things like that, like oh man, I can't think of the name the name of the documentary, but it was essentially like how the earth could end. And like, so my mind is always running on these different scenarios, and I'm like, oh my God, we have like 25 minutes to live here on Earth, you know, after I watch one of those episodes. But obviously it's not reality. Like, oh my God, the sun's gonna go out. It's due. Or no, it's gonna turn into a red star first. And just, I don't know. I love watching documentaries, but anyways,
there's a bunch of ways, man. Yeah, the you ever look into the geomagnetic pole shift? That'll make you pucker up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's like the people that believe in that, which I'm not saying I don't believe in it, because like, as far as everything I've seen that in that theory, I can't disprove any of it at all, and it all makes sense statistically and scientifically. Like it all lines up and makes perfect sense. Even if you look at it like biblically, it makes sense, which is also horrifying. But I kind of have to assume that it's not going to happen, because that's the only way I can like live my daily life without having an existential crisis, you know, and promoting the things that I promote. I want people to have kids and get married and stay married and have go back to traditional values, fight for our independent rights that are granted from God. And so I'm going to continue doing that. And if I get called home because the freaking poles flip, and then the entire West Coast gets the backlash from the oceans, and we just get completely dusted, then it is what it is, you know. That's just it's Jesus calling me home.
Your inner Greta is not going off right now. We have to tax people more, guys. We have to
Oh,
save
yeah.
the Earth from interstellar crisis. Like, how does that even make sense, dude? I don't even know. But Serenity brings up a question. What are your thoughts on canceling daylight savings time?
I would love it. Daylight savings time is I literally don't understand the point of it
Hmm.
at all. Like not even a little bit because it doesn't what
Are you
what
talking
does it
about
do
historically
nowadays?
speaking?
No, like what does it do nowadays? Like why
Oh,
do we have this today?
I don't know. It just
What
pisses me off when I have to wake up an hour earlier to go to work.
yeah, change your sleep schedule. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. There's no reason for it nowadays. We have just the fact that some of our states have stopped participating in it. I mean, that
Arizona.
alone should just be like, yeah, that alone should just be like, okay, we're done with this.
Okay.
There's no benefit to it these days.
So, question: hour later or hour earlier? What would you keep?
Oh, I haven't thought about that. I mean, it would probably be better to have earlier sunrises and just keep it that way.
Hmm. I don't know, but
But
I really hate during the winter when it gets dark at like 5 p.m. Like so when you wake up to go to work and then come home from work, it's dark. So I would prefer, having that extra hour of daylight. That's just me.
Nana Knows says, I like the Indian description of it. Cut 2 inches off the blanket, sew it on the other side, and claim the blanket is longer. I have never heard that, but
Hmm.
that it kind of makes sense. It's really stupid, but I mean, technically, you're not wrong if you do that because you just fail to mention that you cut it off of it. So
Yeah.
I like having well, okay, yeah, and this is understandable, having more light after work, but this is something I really haven't thought about very much. I gotta be
Yeah, no,
honest,
I gotta put you
like,
on blast on this one.
yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I like to think I'm more of a morning person, but
Hmm.
um,
I don't
I mean,
know.
I definitely see the benefits to like in social circles having it stay lighter longer. Like
Yeah.
that would probably be more beneficial for, if
Hmm.
you're I mean, like my wife already doesn't like driving in the dark.
Hmm.
Um, especially because it rains here all the time, and so driving in the dark in the rain is like she just doesn't like it. And it's just one of those things. So if it was lighter later, then I guess it'd be cool.
Yeah. I don't I don't know. I do agree with everyone that we should just pick one time and then just stick with it.
Everyone, you with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
No
mean,
time zones either. All the same time. Just kidding. But dude, so like real talk, whenever living in the South all my life, right? When I went to Germany, and one of the first nights I was there, it was in summer. I think it was July. It was around July 4th, and we went to this bar out there. And at the time I smoked, and I went outside, and it was 9:30, and it was still light outside. I'm like, what is going on? So you know, young dumb cowboy Steve didn't understand, like the earth shift and all of that stuff. But I was like, 9:30. What are we living in right now?
young and dumb, man. That's
Yeah,
why. I mean, okay, we're getting a little consensus here. Some people are saying that it should be an hour later.
Mm.
So these are the important topics that we have to cover in order to fix this country. It starts with whether or not it should be an hour before or an hour later. And then it'll
this
just
is
become normal forever. So choose wisely.
this is groundbreaking stuff, bro. Like
This
this is
this
how we change America. Oh God. Do we have anything else you want to go over tonight?
well, there's hmm I feel like if we talk about this it's going to be a longer conversation, but I'm actually going to be recording a video a little bit later on abortion, because I made a post about abortion today, and I had a okay, everybody say it an hour later. You got it. I guess that's it. It's
Okay.
settled. If I knew how to put up a poll, I would do it, but I have
Okay,
no
cool.
idea how to do that.
Now it's consensus. Hour later. Now let's go out to the deep state. We're good.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Boom. There we go. It's going to bring our national debt down, because people are going to be able to socialize and make better deals and make American
Stimulus
deals.
package. Oh my God.
Okay, so let's see. Your description of your son in his mother's womb was beautiful. Okay, so this is something that I've talked about a lot in abortion and the way that we recognize rights, and there's a lot of people, and I always bring up that we are endowed with a soul, and that we are endowed with a soul from our Creator. I mean, that is in the Declaration of Independence, they said we find these rights to be self-evident, that we are endowed by our Creator with inalienable rights.
Right.
But there's almost no follow-up to it when people talk about women's rights and when people talk about abortion in general.
Right.
They fail to articulate what it means when, like, the entire base of America is the idea that we as humans have rights from our Creator. Logic to me would dictate that if we have a Creator and we are endowed with the soul, and we are endowed with, well, something resembling a soul, something worthy of recognizing that that we can each say is worthy of rights, or at least like me recognizing your right. Okay.
Okay.
If we say that, then when do we start recognizing those rights? A lot of people will say birth, but to me, it doesn't make sense, because the experiences that I've had in my life, I can guarantee that there's obvious life before that. And
Correct.
I mean, my son was born prematurely. He was born at
That's what I
5
was
pounds.
about to mention.
Yeah, 5 pounds, 5 ounces. And since he was born prematurely, he spent a week in the NICU and was saved by all of the medical equipment that we had, and was saved by all of the people there. But in Washington State right now, they're trying to enshrine in the Washington State Constitution. They're actually bringing up a constitutional amendment for this, basically saying that you cannot interfere with a woman's right to choose. Okay? So they want to enshrine in the Constitution the ability to abort a baby up until birth, which is fundamentally, I mean, it doesn't make sense. If we're endowed by our Creator with inalienable rights, then you can't say that birth is what actually is the time where we should start recognizing those rights. Because if we do have if we were created and we have a Creator, logic would dictate that we're endowed with those rights when we are created. And by all standards, when you look at how humans are created, it is at the zinc spark during fertilization. There's a lot of complications that happen. Not every single egg that gets fertilized comes to fruition, and there's a lot of confusion and intentional misleading from these abortionists, these pro-abortion radical zealots that say that a miscarriage, they will literally say a miscarriage is an abortion. It's like a sudden abortion or sudden onset, whatever they say. But the morality of an abortion is so insanely different than having a miscarriage.
Yes. I mean, I don't understand how they can create those two arguments or tie those two together. The zinc spark, in my opinion, is where people get their soul, where they have rights. In my opinion, if I'm pro-life, obviously, so I think every abortion is murder, and I think it's even further than that. I think it's these people that are higher up and they're pushing this agenda as a satanic ritual.
Yeah, well, there's over 3,000 abortions a day, and a lot of women are tricked into believing Okay, here we go. This is it. Yeah, they call it a spontaneous abortion.
Oh, you're right.
All right. So the conflation of these two actions, and because these are intentional actions, okay? Conflating
Correct.
these two is like conflating if someone murders somebody, if like you're driving your car and you just decide to swerve into a bicycle rider and you end up killing him, like that guy would be charged with murder, okay? Or attempted murder. If the guy didn't die and he went to the hospital and the doctor tried to save him but couldn't,
Mhm.
the doctor would not be charged with murder. Like if he did everything in his power to try and save him, you wouldn't charge that doctor with murder.
Well, yeah.
Okay, that's like the intention behind having an abortion and having
Well,
a
but
miscarriage.
on the same token, say a pregnant female gets murdered, sh that's a double homicide. So if these people are arguing that life begins at actual birth, then what is going on here? If a DA finds out that if a woman is pregnant, no matter what stage, and that baby dies, that person is going to be charged with double murder. So why are we saying that on the other side with abortion? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so when I discuss abortion, especially with women who've had abortions, because I've had this a couple times, it's extremely painful for a woman to come to the conclusion that she killed her own child. But it does have to be said that when the zinc spark happens, and it's one of the most fascinating things. Maybe I'll actually pull it up right now and show you guys the video because this is it's a beautiful thing. It's 30 seconds. It's not very long, but let's watch this really quick.
This is the documented moment of conception. And the sperm enters the egg, and there's this poof of light that comes off of it. Scientists
That's
are
crazy.
studying this, and they're looking at it, and they're like, okay, well, it looks like it's a release of zinc, a burst of zinc that comes off the egg, and it creates this appearance. But any way you slice it, they can't explain away that light happens when life happens. Is that amazing? Light happens when life happens. So this
It is absolutely amazing, and most people don't even know about this, and they do this intentionally to keep, especially women, they want to keep women in the dark, and they want abortions to be an out of sight, out of mind procedure to
Correct.
remove a clump of cells. They use this terminology to disconnect you from your child, and
Oh, that's
it's been
yeah.
brought up for so many years. We've talked about this from the mother's perspective in saying that the mother has the right to choose and the mother gets to decide. But in all reality, the conversation that we have to have is, when are we as Americans endowed with inalienable rights? That's not specified. If we specify if we make a constitutional amendment, okay, or a federal law that says that we are endowed with inalienable rights at the moment of creation from our creator, which would be logically consistent, which would be morally consistent, which would be consistent with whether you believe in Christianity and God, or you're a complete atheist. Scientific standards, all of it comes together in that our creator, and this is when I say our creator, this is the fundamental, like, this is the base of American rights. And our entire government is based on the fact that we as Americans have rights. So you can't
Correct.
say that we don't have a creator, because if you do, then you're just going off the deep end and saying that you have the ability to grant or take rights away. And mothers
That's
don't have
a
that
form of
ability.
itself, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
giving power to these people that will like rule your life. And yeah, dude, I totally get it and understand completely. I totally agree.
Yeah. So as an American, if we are talking about rights in general, when do rights begin? And what is it about humans that is worthy of recognition of those rights? It can't be biological, because I hear a lot of biological arguments like, oh, it's a clump of cells, or it's not a baby, it's a fetus, or it's a zygote. They can't distinguish between zygote and fetus because the zygote doesn't look human. Well,
Right.
it can't be biological, because if a veteran goes off to war and he gets his legs blown off, he comes back home, he doesn't lose half his rights because he lost half his body. He has the
Okay.
same amount of rights. So there's no way for us to tie our rights to a biological point. You can't say that because you're not as human as the rest of us, then therefore you lose certain rights. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And we're obviously not just meat buckets with electrical currents that is like we have something resembling a soul. And it has to be that way, because otherwise, if you were to delete somebody, it would be like shutting off a computer. If we're just meat buckets with electrical currents that give us the perception of thought, then it would be no different than shutting off a computer. But no, there's something more intrinsic, something more divine
Yep.
with humans that is worthy of recognition of rights. And if we are to recognize that we are endowed with rights from our creator, whatever it may be, or whoever he may be, then we have to recognize that it starts at the moment of creation, and that is the zinc spark during fertilization. And if we codify that into law, abortion won't even be a topic, because we have to recognize that humans are worthy of rights when they're created by our creator.
Wow. That was spectacular, dude. I don't
I've thought about
that-
this for a long time. Had
I can
many
tell.
conversations.
I put a lot of deep thought behind that, and I'm almost kind of speechless, bro. Like that was really mind blowing. Like, made me think a lot, and kind of consider that how you perceive, rights, because it not only does it just tie into abortion, but every fundamental right as an American. And we have to understand that, these things are so precious. Like, life is so precious, and our rights are so precious, and we have to do everything we can to protect those. Whether
It's our
it be,
duty.
it's absolutely. And man, that was a great way to end this show.
I think
That
so.
was incredible. Yeah.
I think so. It's something that I'm deeply passionate about, and I hope that I'm able to discuss this next week on Tim's show, because
Oh, breaking news. Did you release that yet?
no, I haven't.
Well,
Well,
they don't know
I hope
which-
that's yeah. I hope that we're able to discuss this, and I think it'll be a really good conversation. And I hope that as a country we can kind of start recognizing that, and stop being distracted by this abortion talk, because like we said on Monday's show, we've been discussing these same exact problems for 50 years. Reagan was giving the same talk about abortion, and I mean,
don't even acknowledge that.
and we haven't moved on, and it's because they're keeping it disconnected from what we perceive as rights, and why we have rights to begin with, and when they start, because we haven't come to a consensus as a people when rights begin and when we are endowed with them. It's obviously in the Declaration of Independence, and our founding fathers said that we perceive these to be, they're self-evident, right? But
Correct.
the discussion has been moved away from that into mothers' rights and convenience, and it's gotten to the point where now in the Washington State Constitution, and the Democrats here, they're trying to enshrine in our Constitution that that women can have abortions up until birth, and it is horrifying to say the least.
Yeah,
Over 3,000
definitely.
abortions a day for the last 60 years, which has resulted in millions and millions of Americans not walking this earth, but who have already been endowed with the soul and electively eliminated or willfully eliminated for
Hopefully
convenience.
that's the correct term.
Yeah, and it breaks my heart all the time. And it is something difficult to discuss, but it's a conversation that needs to be had. So,
Definitely,
you
brother.
guys, we will be back next Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 8 p.m. in the
Next
great
time.
Republic of Texas. Please share the show if you guys can. I really appreciate it. So does Steve. It's the only way we grow is by word of mouth. We appreciate it. And no, truthful troll, I do not use chin shampoo. I just use soap. just bar soap on my face. So, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you for chiming in the comments. I really appreciate reading through all the comments and getting the various ideas that you guys are talking about. So please share the show. Subscribe to the Patriots Prayer on Rumble or my YouTube channel at Law Native Patriot. Steve and my ex's channel, Law Native Patriot, and Steve Loves Ammo. I love you guys. I will see you next Monday. God bless you all. God bless America.
Good night, y'all.
We'll see you then.
Peace.